Jensen Huang has a secret that will make you burnout-proof. A secret that goes against everything you've been told about burnout. Because burnout isn't what you've been told it is. It isn't stress, it isn't anxiety, and it isn't the feeling of being overwhelmed. Burnout is, at the root, disengagement. It's the morning you open your laptop and realize the work doesn't matter to you the way it used to. It's hitting a number you would have celebrated 3 years ago, and now you're feeling nothing. It's Sunday nights that used to feel like fuel and now feel like dead weight. That's burnout, and it kills more businesses than competitor ever will. Now, what makes Jensen interesting, he's been running NVIDIA from the start for 33 years. 7 days a week, every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, as he told Joe Rogan.
And then you're up at 4, read emails for a few hours before you get going.
That's right, yeah.
Wow. Every day.
Every single day. Not one day missed. Including Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Wow.
But skill matters. And I've been doing this for 33. I'm the longest running tech CEO in the world.
He's still fully in it. Still showing up at 4 a.m. every single day. Still afraid of failing. After 33 years, he has never burned out. Not because the work got easy, he never burned out because he follows one rule that contradicts almost everything you've been told about success. And I'm going to show you exactly what this rule is and what is the specific brain mechanism that makes it work. Because if you get this wrong, you will forever be at the mercy of how your brain processes your dopamine. But if you get this right, you will become burnout-proof. I'm León Castillo, investor, university professor, and founder of Selfmastered.com, where we help founders reach their revenue goals 4 times faster using neuroscience and data. Roughly half of the founders who come to work with us are in a semi-permanent state of disengagement. They don't have a name for it yet. And their week looks a little bit like this. Let me know if it resonates. On Monday morning, you open your laptop half dreading the week ahead. Most days of the week are spent working hard but barely executing on the high leverage moves that would shatter your current ceiling. And when good news arrive, you don't even register them. You're so emotionally exhausted when the weekend comes, you are just numb after a full week of firefighting and executing. And week after week, the business you built, the thing you chose, the thing you sacrificed relationship and weekends and years for, sits on your chest. You've been told it's exhaustion. It isn't exhaustion. Exhaustion is physical. If you're feeling this, what's going on is there's low erosion of meaning. Your brain is quietly systematically disconnecting from the work. If you feel like this, you are already in burnout. You are in the early phase where the work still gets done, but the drive and the fuel is gone. And most founders who exited companies miserably had this exact pattern for like 12 to 18 months before they admitted it. Because entrepreneurs don't fail, entrepreneurs quit. Not because they don't know what to do, but because they don't care anymore. And Jensen has been running the most demanding CEO job on earth for 33 years and hasn't hit this. Sure, he's anxious, he's exhausted, but he's fully engaged. Why? Well, because of a rule he publicly named at Stanford that makes him different from the average CEO. At Stanford, he said this, direct quote,
"One of my great advantages is that I have very low expectations. People with very high expectations have very low resilience. And unfortunately, resilience matters in success."
Read that twice. The richest CEO alive, running the most valuable company in the world, says his edge is having low expectations. This sounds wrong. You've been told the opposite your entire life. You've been told that you need to think big, 10x your thinking, visualize the exit, manifest the outcome. And Jensen is doing the opposite. And he's outlasted almost every founder who does it your way. Now, he's not telling you to lower your standards. He's telling you to lower your expectations of reality in service of your standards. That's the key distinction. Because most founders confuse those two things, standards and expectations, and the confusion is exactly what's destroying their engagement. Standards are the quality bar you hold for your own work. It's internal and it's within your control. Expectations are what you believe reality should deliver back to you. It's external, outside of your control. Jensen's standards are brutal. He uses the phrase pain and suffering inside NVIDIA with great glee. He demands more of his team than almost any CEO alive. His standards are at the ceiling, but his expectations are at the floor. He doesn't expect the chip to work. He doesn't expect the deal to close. He doesn't expect the market to reward him or his company. He expects the work to be hard, the outcome uncertain, and the setbacks to inevitably come. So that is the key distinction. The one-line test is standards are what you can control, expectations are what you pretend you can control. And if you keep both high, this is what happens. You demand excellent work from yourself and your team. Good. You also demand your reality to reward your work on your timeline. Not good. And every time reality doesn't comply, your brain logs a gap. A small one at first, then they stack, and after enough of them, your brain does something specific. It starts disconnecting from the source of the gap. That's the mechanism behind burnout. Nobody ever explained it. Because this is not a mindset problem you can willpower your way out of. The fix is biological. Why does the gap between expectation and outcome matter so much? Because your brain doesn't run on outcomes, it runs on prediction errors. When an outcome is better than you expected, dopamine is released. The behavior that produced it gets reinforced. You feel engaged, you feel fuel, you want to do it again. When an outcome is worse than you expected repeatedly, your brain does something precise. It tags that domain as low reward. It downregulates the motivation circuits that fire when you engage with it. You stop getting the dopamine hit from the work because the brain has learned the work doesn't deliver. That's disengagement at the brain level. Not exhaustion, but prediction error decay. Now picture two founders. Exact IQ, exact work ethic, same hours, same workload, same stress, same everything. Founder A is running Jensen's playbook. Expectations sit low, almost every outcome meets or exceeds expectation. So every shipped task, every closed deal, every quarter doesn't collapse, his brain registers that as a positive surprise. So he's constantly releasing healthy dopamine the right way, and engagement is compounding. Week after week for 33 years, and never a single burnout episode. Founder B runs a standard pattern. Expectations are sky high, and almost every outcome lands below expectations. The deal closes but slower than expected. The quarter hit, but the next one needs to be bigger. And the brain is logging gap after gap after gap, so the dopamine system downregulates and the work stops mattering. So it's the same stimulus, different expectation floor, completely different brain outcome. That's Jensen's edge underneath the quote. Neuroscience tells us that this is how he can be exhausted, anxious, but still engaged 33 years in on a Saturday. That's how he has trained himself to perform. He's running his brain in a way that most founders never learn how to do. Now you might be thinking, okay, well, simple. I'll just lower my expectations, problem solved. That's just not how it works. Expectations aren't a decision you make on a Tuesday morning. They're a pattern wired into your nervous system. And right now, yours is miswired. You spent 20 plus years being rewarded for high expectations. Teachers, parents, mentors, every motivational book you've read, all of it condition you to expect outcomes that match your ambition. That conditioning is wired into your brain at the level of your automatic response. You can't think your way out of it with an affirmation any more than you can think your way out of startle reflex. That's why every solution to solve this has failed. Think about it. Positive thinking. They have told you that you need to think positively. Well, that doesn't retrain your prediction error loop. It just layers a mental story on top of an unchanged circuit. So the circuit just keeps firing the same way. Discipline and willpower, they keep you showing up, they're useful, but they don't change how your brain expects when you show up. So the gaps still log. Manifestation, vision board, and think big, this raises your expectations further, which based on the mechanism I just explained, accelerates the burnout you're trying to avoid. None of it works because none of it operates at the level of the nervous system where the expectation pattern actually lives. What works is capacity training. It's retraining the specific circuits that generate your expectation and your response to outcomes. It's what Jensen has built over 33 years of continuous pressure. It's not magic, it's not personality, it's a trained nervous system that has learned to hold low expectations and high standards simultaneously, automatically, without conscious effort. Now, you don't need 33 years to get there, but you need to train at the right level. And the right level isn't mindset training, it's nervous system training. And let me show you what changes when you get this right, when you finally train the brain to avoid falling for the trap of cheap dopamine and burnout-inducing gap logging. Monday morning, you open your laptop and the work matters again. Not because you force yourself to care, but because the prediction error loop in the brain is rebalanced and the fuel is back. 6 hours of focused work and you're still engaged, not depleted. You close a deal and you actually feel it. You miss a number, you get bad news, and you don't collapse. And Sunday nights stop feeling heavy. The business you built starts to feel like yours again, not like a machine you are trapped in. Now, you don't need 33 years and a 5 trillion company to get there. You need the right ratio, the relationship to your work in which outcomes reinforce engagement rather than erode it. That's Jensen's real edge, and that is actually trainable. So if you're watching this and any part of it landed, the Monday dread, the deals that you don't care about, the Sunday wait, your prediction error loop is already drifting at the brain level. The question is whether you are going to burn out. The question is when. So if you want to measure the specific patterns that might be keeping you stuck, we have a founder score. You can click the link below. It takes 3 minutes and is going to give you an understanding of the specific brain patterns that are actually keeping you stuck in business. So you can start training your way out of them. See you in the next one.